Good day, everyone. Welcome to Real Conservative News. I'm your host, Nathaniel Rajkumar. Starting off locally here in Trinidad and Tobago, Trini reportedly killed in U.S. strike, described by relatives as a nice, loving, and caring person. My response? Most parents describe their kids as good boys or good girls, even when they are members of gangs and are committing various types of crimes. Is it possible that he was just liming with the wrong crowd? Definitely, yes. But at the end of the day, we all have to stand the consequences for the decisions we make in life. Just like I always continue to warn people, and youth especially, don't lime on the block with individuals that you know are involved in crime. Tragedy could strike, so please be wise outside there. I'm not saying to pass people straight on the roadway or anything like that. You can be courteous, you can smile with them, but do not, as we say the word lime, don't lime with them, don't associate with them in public or even in the privacy of your home. I went on to say it's very unlikely that the US will be targeting legitimate fishermen. If you'll stop thinking with tribal sort of concepts, common sense will prevail. Sleep better. Say goodbye to stiff necks, headaches, and restless nights. Our premium cervical pillow is designed to perfectly support your neck and spine, keeping your body aligned while you sleep. Soft yet firm, it adapts to your shape, giving you ultimate comfort and deep, rejuvenating rest. Whether you sleep on your back, side, or stomach, this pillow reduces pressure points, eases tension, and helps you wake up feeling refreshed and ready to conquer the day. Invest in your sleep. Your neck will thank you. WhatsApp 762-6589 to place your order and feel the difference from the very first night. Minister of Housing, Dr. David Lee, has expressed deep concern and sympathy following the tragic shooting incident that occurred on the afternoon of Wednesday, October 15, 2025, at the Port of Spain shopping complex, Charlotte Street, formerly East Side Plaza. The Port of Spain shopping complex is an agency of the Ministry of Housing. Preliminary reports indicate that Mr. Kawando Guilliam, a cleaner employed at the facility, was shot outside the staff lunchroom around 3:45 p.m., according to a report from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Mr. Guilliam succumbed to his injuries at the scene. It is understood that the two assailants entered the compound, called out to the victim, and opened fire before fleeing. The matter is currently under active police investigation. Minister Lee extends condolences to Mr. Gilliam's family, and he has described the event as tragic and a senseless act of violence that has left the staff and wider community deeply shaken. Once again, it goes back to my initial statement just a while ago. Be careful whom you associate with and what types of lifestyles you're involved in. Now, of course, it doesn't have to be that he was involved in any sort of criminal lifestyles or actions, but either he was associated with the wrong type of people, or maybe he's one of these cases where there was some sort of personal dispute, or was probably even these individuals were probably trying to extort money from him. But he's a cleaner, so why would you try to extort money from a cleaner? So it's either personal dispute, or he was involved in something that he shouldn't have been, or he had the type of friends that were living that type of negative lifestyle. Ladies, meet your new go-to bag, our mega duffel handbag, perfect for your travel, shopping, the gym, and everything in between. Crafted from premium Oxford material, it's not just stylish, it's built to last. The ideal size, flawless design, and unbeatable quality make it the bag you'll reach for every time. Versatile and ready for anything. WhatsApp 762-6589 to order yours today. Minister of Planning, Economic Affairs and Development and Minister in the Ministry of Finance, Dr. Kennedy Sarwat-Singh says the National Insurance Board NIB fund would have become defunct by 2023 if the government had failed to take action. It would have no longer been able to operate and provide the monthly pensions to those to members of the public service or even in the private sector. Speaking at a post-budget discussion on Tuesday, he defended the move by the government to take action to gradually increase the retirement age, along with increasing contributions, revealing that the National Insurance Board is facing a financial crisis. I have nothing against the increase of the 6%. 3 next year, God's willing, and 3 the following year, especially because I already explained that the salary increase for the public servants in particular is only for the years 2014 to 2019, and therefore, even though that 6% sounds very significant right now, it's not really going to have any sort of impact when it is the new negotiations for 2020 to 2023, and then of course the other set will be for 2025 begins. And besides that, remember, just like Kamala Prasad-Bissessar, our Prime Minister, we the People's Prime Minister, Kamala Prasad-Bissessar said recently, just either yesterday or the day before yesterday, she said how, and I said that in my video as well, the employee only pays 1/3 of the contribution. So the burden is really rest on the employer, whether in the private sector or in the case of public servants, on the government to have to contribute the larger portion of it. Having said that, I still don't agree with the increasing of the retirement age. I don't want any excuse whatsoever from any government, including the government that I support, which is the United National Congress. I do not agree with increasing the age of retirement. Allow these elderly individuals, 60 years is still young, but they are reaching into the elderly stage of their life. Allow these people to enjoy their retirement. Find new ways to be able to increase revenue in Trinidad and Tobago, and therefore, of course, and ensure that deductions are taken from whether it's in the private sector or in the public. Well, in the public sector, it will always be deducted. But ensure that private companies comply and make the payments that they're supposed to. There are ways and means of doing this without having to infringe upon the rights of these older people in our society from enjoying their older years in retirement.
Minister of Planning, Economic Affairs and Development and Minister in the Ministry of Finance, Dr. Kennedy Sarwat-Singh, revealed that the National Insurance Board is facing a financial crisis. Speaking at a post-budget discussion on Tuesday, he defended the move by government to take action to gradually increase the retirement age, along with increasing contributions. He said failure to do so would have resulted in an unwanted outcome.
And the budget would have pointed to a number of things, would have tried to resolve some things that have been outstanding. NIB is one of them. That actual report has been sitting in the Ministry of Finance since probably 2019. And that actual report spoke to the fact that the NIB fund would have become defunct by 2033 if we didn't take action.
Minister Sarwat-Singh pointed to an aging population and a widening financial gap as key contributors to the crisis.
One is that we are living in a population that is aging. And so it is costing NIB now currently $2 billion annually, more than they're taking in. So you have to address that disparity. And Justin could speak to those things more than I can. The other thing, of course, that it points to is that people can be productive long after they come like me and we turn 60. And therefore, we have to talk about how we can move the retirement age where people can be more productive in their later life.
Finance Minister Devendranath Tanku also emphasized this during his budget presentation on Monday, noting the weakened integrity of the NIB fund.
Since 2020, benefit payouts have consistently exceeded contributions. forcing the NIB to liquidate its assets to meet its obligations. The 11th actual review projects that if nothing is done, the fund will be depleted by 2023 or 2020. Sorry, the fund will be depleted by 2033 to 2034.
And Minister Swaratsing stressed the need for government to gradually raise the retirement age, pointing out that even other regional territories have started the process.
Barbados is what, 67 now? Barbados is 67. We are now moving gradually. So by 2028, 61 will be the retirement age and gradually move up over 10 years until 2036. So there are a couple of things that the budget is beginning to address. The budget, of course, looked at other philosophical issues that, as a country, we have to look at. But the budget, obviously, can't solve everything.
Minister Tanku announced during the budget that starting in January 2028, the age for a full NIS pension will increase by 1 year every 2 years until it reaches age 65 in 2036. Sonolala, TTT News.
No more overheating phones. Cool your phones in seconds. Prevents damage to phones and battery issues. Better gaming experience and streaming. USB powered and fast charging. Lightweight and quiet. Ideal for kids and adults. Works with all smartphones. Makes a great gift. Call or WhatsApp 868-762-6589.
Don't let the minister fool you, you know. The current contribution rate is 13%. So when you add 3% and then another 3, that's an additional 6, which is a 45% increase in contributions. So if you're paying $100 in NIS now per month, you'll end up paying $145 when they finish with you.
Don't let your kids watch it.
Now, people are saying we have increased the contributions, but let's get it very clear. I think one opponent said to Ms. John, so the 10% you gave the public servants, you're taking back 3%? Because it's a 3, we're raising the contribution by 2% increase. So you gave the public servants 10%, let's take a bow for that. And a detractor is telling Ms. John across the floor when he heard that. So you mean you give them 10, but you're taking back 3%? Because you're increasing 3% increase will raise contributions paid by employees. Let me get it very, very clear, and I want you to get it clear. Don't get chained up. They'll carry down the garden path and leave you down there. But we will bring you back. We will always rescue you and bring you back. So let me tell you what happened, first of all. When we gave that 10% to the public, we are giving, we didn't give them yet. We are going to give them it. No longer promise. First of all, the increase in NIS, okay, takes effect, Minister remind me, takes effect, here's the NIS. There it is. All right. We propose a phased approach implementing a 3% increase in the contribution rate effective January 5, 2026. That's next year. And then another 3% from January 4 in the following year, 2027. Listen very carefully, you know, because they're already twisting because they cannot even read or listen properly. So this thing will come into effect next year. The 10% that the public servants are getting, you know what that is for? That is not kicking in next year. That is for the years, so let me find the page. Find the page here. In furtherance of the conclusion of negotiations, this is what I instructed the minister to do. For the civil service, the statutory authorities, and Tobago House Assembly for the period 2014 to 2016 and 2017 to 2019. This thing doesn't kick in. It does not kick in until next year. So all this money for the 10% happened in the past, and the contributions to the NIS will remain as they were in the past. So please understand. Please understand. So in furtherance of the conclusion of negotiations with the civil service, statutory authorities, and Tobago House Assembly for the periods 2014 to 16 and 2017 to 19, the Prime Minister has instructed the Minister of Finance to advise the CPO to submit a revised offer of 10% for the past. So they won't have to pay any increase in IS pension monies on that, based on the amounts that we're giving them. I think those were the two. And let me tell you something else about the NIS pensions, because people say, you have to pay a higher contribution. Let's be real. I heard the opposition leader say the budget is unrealistic. And I think the only thing unreal is the opposition leader. Because
She's lost.
she's lost. She was there for 5 years as planning minister. Did she plan anything? Nothing. Did she plan anything? Nothing. The country collapsed. We have a planning minister who is helping me to plan well. And we had a minister of finance. I don't know what to say about that. The former. We had two formers now. So Minister of Finance has shown how a Minister of Finance and how a Minister of Planning, how they should work. So let's take this 3% NIS increase now. The 3% increase will raise the total contributions paid by employees and employers by approximately 23% per year. Now remember, the employer pays 2/3. Yes, anybody working here? Your employer pays 2/3 of the NIS. You only pay 1/3. So look what happens. I'll give you an example. Class 1 employees who earn a maximum salary of $1,472 per month in the lowest contribution class, an increase of approximately $11.70, which is $2.70 per week. Per week. Class 1, in the lowest contribution class, an increase of $23.40 per month, which is $5.40 per week per employee. Class 6 employees who earn a maximum salary of $13,000 per month. In the highest class, you get an increase of $136 per month, which is $31.40 per week. So you go to class 6. In the highest class, an increase of approximately $272 per month, which is bound to $62.79 per week. So then this is for the employer. The employer will pay, and the employees will pay the 1/3. Now, we found the NIS in a state of collapse. The minister made it very clear, if we did not fix this problem now, in a few years' time, there will be no money left to pay any pensions, to pay any, injury benefits, maternity benefits. There will be none. We have to be responsible, and we have to fix it, and fix it now, and we are fixing it. This is one measure. We have to fix it. So I talk to you, we continue to manage with the deficit. The NIS reform that I just mentioned secures pensions until 2048, when many of us would not be here, up to 2040. So you'll be protected right down until then, and if we continue with prudent fiscal responsibility, future generations will benefit from it as well. So that reform, until 2048, is secured. There will be a gradual adjustment which safeguards retirees and extends fund life. Let me make it clear about the retirees not paying taxes. These are retirees who have private pension plans. Therefore, it will not affect the public service retirees and all the others in the government sector. We just don't have the money to do that at this time. But at least these retirees with private pension plans, they will benefit no taxes, because they've worked their whole life, not retiring, they will have their package. Some of us have it, some don't. And for those who do not have a private pension plan, I suggest you do it, because in that way you will save. It will help you to save. So you can invest in private pension plans. I think insurance companies and so on, yes, they give you pension plans, small amounts per month, and at the end when you come to retirement age, you will you can benefit from that and no taxes on it.
Premium touchscreen wireless headsets restocked. 1.9-inch HD full-color touchscreen. ANC and ENC noise reduction for crystal clear calls. 9D panoramic sound. Long battery life and fast charging. Control music, videos, TikTok, YouTube, and much more. Camera feature, voice assistant, timer, stopwatch, and lyrics on screen. Water resistant, sleek design. Available in gold, black, blue, and purple. Gift ready packaging with replacement earbuds included. Never lose your earbuds again with the Find Headphones feature that actually works. Don't miss out. WhatsApp 762-6589 to place your order. Limited stock available. Regional news now, starting off with Guyana. Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Dr. Irfan Ali, has reaffirmed that Guyana holds no hostility towards the people of Venezuela, just like our Prime Minister, we the People's Prime Minister, Kamala Pasabi said recently. We have nothing against the people of Venezuela. Despite the mounting claims to the country's resource-rich Essequibo region by the Bolivarian Republic's regime. Maduro is the issue, people. He's a bully, and he has also been charged with very serious crimes of narco-terrorism in the USA. Speaking at the commissioning parade of the Guyana's Defense Force Standing Operating Course number 56 on Wednesday, on the aggressive posturing by Venezuelan forces in Guyana's Cuyuni region, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces made it clear that while the country remains committed to peace and diplomacy, it will not tolerate any acts of aggression against its citizens or military personnel. So listen to it. Watch out what is going on there. Maduro continues to try to bully Guyana into submission, and that is why America is taking steps to probably even take military action. They are here to defend our sovereignty, people, not to take our oil or anything like that. Tired of losing your keys, phone, or coins in that annoying gap between your car seat and the console? We've got the perfect solution. Our universal car seat gap fillers are back in stock, ready to save your stuff and make your ride clutter-free. Available in black, brown, beige, and red, they're designed to fit any car seat and blend perfectly with your interior. Simply WhatsApp 762-6589 to place your order and enjoy delivery straight to your door in just 1 to 3 days. News from Jamaica now. Former Prime Minister P.J. Patterson is describing the United States drone attacks on vessels in Caribbean waters as fundamentally dangerous and a horrible erosion of regional leaders' commitment to sovereignty in the region. You're sovereign, but have you been dealing effectively with crime, narco-terrorism? No, you haven't. Since September 2nd, the U.S. President Donald Trump has ordered military strikes on at least 5 boats in the Caribbean Sea, which his administration claims were carrying drugs to the U.S. My response, very quickly, Jamaica's present Prime Minister, Dr. Andrew Holness, is wise enough to understand that our Caribbean region is plagued with drugs and gangs. It is therefore a blessing to receive U.S. military assistance in this literal war against crime and domestic terrorism. You won't be disappointed with this one. Look and feel great every day. Painless trimming with no pulling of hair guaranteed. Comfortable to hold and lightweight. Intelligent anti-pinch system. Safety travel lock. Accurate and painless trimming. Durability 100% quality. Fast charging. To place an order, call or WhatsApp 868-762-6589. Two policemen have been charged for allegedly using their service weapons to assault a man in racecourse in Falmouth, Trelawney. Constables Daniel Osborne and Craig Chang appeared before the Trelawney Parish Court at Duncan's on a summons on Monday, charged with assault occasioning actual body harm. I hope justice prevails, and these individuals have to spend some time in prison. And let us just see if justice starts to prevail here in Trinidad and Tobago when members of the TTPS commit similar or the same types of crimes. International news now. Our Messiah is Jewish. Those are the words of Kaya Jones, the former Pussycat Dolls singer who left it all behind to go to Hebrew Bible School after becoming a born-again Christian. I'm also a born-again Christian, and dedicating her career to glorifying our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Her comments in support of Israel come as anti-Semitism, and I will add anti-Zionism, is on the rise in the US and in the UK, and was filmed just before President Donald Trump flew to Egypt, where he signed a Gaza peace deal after the remaining living hostages held by Hamas were reunited with their families in Israel. I'm very proud of you, ma'am. Really wonderful information and news.
President, on Gaza, how long will it take Hamas to disarm, and can you guarantee that is going to happen?
Well, they're going to disarm, and because they said they were going to disarm. And if they don't disarm, we will disarm them.
How will you do that?
I don't have to explain that to you. But if they don't disarm, we will disarm them. They know I'm not playing games. Okay? Now, we did something monumental. We got the hostages back.
Mr. Trump says the war is over, but clearly the war is not over. The IDF is deployed to sections of Gaza still, and Hamas is still on the streets of Gaza. How can you say the war is over?
Well, we agreed to give peace a chance. We agreed that we should, the conditions in his 20-point plan are very clear. It's not only that we get the hostages out without getting our military out, but that we would subsequently have both demilitarization and disarmament. They're not the same thing. First, Hamas has to give up its arms. And second, you want to make sure that there are no weapons factories inside Gaza. There's no smuggling of weapons into Gaza. That's demilitarization. We agreed that that's part of the plan. And we also agreed, okay, let's get the first part done. And now let's give a chance to do the second part peacefully, which is my hope. But if not, I think I heard the president speak tonight. He said, listen, they better do it, or, how can I speak for him? He said, all hell breaks loose, okay? Well, I hope it doesn't. I hope we can do this peacefully, and we're certainly ready to do so.
Ladies, meet your new go-to bag, our Mega Duffel handbag, perfect for your travel, shopping, the gym, and everything in between. Crafted from premium Oxford material, it's not just stylish, it's built to last. The ideal size, flawless design, and unbeatable quality make it the bag you'll reach for every time. Versatile and ready for anything. WhatsApp 762-6589 to order yours today. Folks, that brings us to the end of today's news report. Thanks again to everyone who continues to support my content. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay blessed and stay safe, most of all, in Jesus' name.